In 5000 BC, a group of 10 immortal individuals descend upon Earth to protect humanity from the deviants. They are the Eternals, who have been sent from their home planet of Olympia on the Domo by the Prime Celestial, Arishem the Judge. Throughout the centuries, the Eternals continue to relocate to other growing civilizations and defend them from the deviants, although they are barred by Arishem from interfering with human conflicts to allow them to evolve naturally. Two Eternals, Circe and Achares, would develop a close relationship over the centuries, eventually becoming a married couple. In 1521, the Spanish invasion on the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan runs concurrently with an attack from the last of the deviants. While fighting them off, Thena's Maud Wairi causes her to momentarily turn on her allies, only to be stopped by Gilgamesh. The Prime Eternal, Ajak, offers to cure Thena's affliction at the cost of her memories, but Gilgamesh volunteers to look over her, conceding with the possibility that she may have to be killed if she turns again. Druig, frustrated with how the Eternals have been abstaining from human affairs, deserts them to end the Spanish conflict himself. With the deviants seemingly eradicated, Ajak releases the Eternals to go their own ways. In the years since, Achares would abandon Circe as the other Eternals await their return to Olympia. In the present day, Sprite lives with Circe in London as she works as a museum curator with a romantic interest in her colleague Dane Whitman. One night, Circe, Sprite and Whitman are leaving a party when they are attacked by a deviant. They are joined by Achares as they fight to eradicate the beast, but they discover that it is able to heal itself. As Whitman is left behind, Circe, Sprite and Achares decide to leave for South Dakota in search of Ajak. At her house, they find her body instead, a victim of an earlier deviant attack. As Circe mourns over the cadaver of their leader, Ajak passes on the sphere she uses to communicate with Arishem to her. With the deviant threat looming, the three decide to venture out to find the other Eternals. They approach Kingo as he shoots a new Bollywood film, who is hesitant to leave his life of stardom and rejoin the Eternals. He gives in when he learns about Ajak, alongside additional encouragement from his valet Karun Patel, who also tags alongside them to film a documentary for Kingo. The group locates Gilgamesh and Thena in Australia as the latter's wiry resurfaces due to a recent deviant attack. After examining Thena's artwork she had painted during her episodes of Wiry, which visualized memories of planetary destructions in the past, Circe uses the sphere to successfully establish a connection to Arishem. The Prime Celestial reveals to Circe that Olympia does not actually exist. Instead, he had engineered the Eternals in the World Forge. He had also created the deviants to eradicate Earth's apex predators and allow intelligent life to thrive. But a critical design flaw led them to evolve and become predators themselves. So, the Eternals were deployed onto Earth to protect the humans, unaware that they were also defending a seed that would spawn the new celestial Tiamat the Communicator once the population quota of intelligent life was achieved. When that happens, the emergence would commence, resulting in the destruction of the planet and the birth of said celestial, which would allow for new life and galaxies to form. Afterwards, the memories of the Eternals would be taken from them and studied by Arishem to make way for their next planetary mission. Appalled with the true meaning of their existence, Circe informs the others. Together, they realize that Thena's mental affliction was the result of a botched memory wipe after a previous emergence. Hoping to delay the emergence, they find Druig in an Amazon village in hopes that he could be able to utilize his telepathy to render Tiamat the Communicator dormant, but he is hesitant to help them. At night, they are ambushed by the deviants and fight to fend them off. Achares and Circe are viciously attacked by one of the beasts, but she uses her powers to transmute it into a tree, to everyone's surprise. As Thena begins to fall insane yet again, Gilgamesh rushes to her side. However, this allows the deviant leader Crow to attack him and absorb his powers, gaining a humanoid figure, intelligible speech, and his memories. Before fleeing, Crow pledges to kill the Eternals for their actions towards the deviants. With his last words, Gilgamesh successfully gets Thena to remember who she is, curing her of the affliction. The rest of the Eternals mourn the loss of their strongest fighter with a cremation, with Thena scattering his ashes in the river. Druig proclaims that he is not powerful enough to affect a celestial, so they head to Chicago to seek out Phastos, who had long abandoned mankind and his technological ambitions after his technology was used to create the atomic bomb. However, he has newfound hope for humanity after finding a new life with his husband Ben Stoss and son Jack Stoss. He initially refuses to leave his family, but relents after Ben convinces him to fight for Jack's future. Heading to Iraq, they retrieve the Domo from an archaeological site and find Makari residing in the ship. As they all are imbued with infinite cosmic energy, Phastos proposes they channel their energy into Druig and form a uni-mind so that he can take control of the Celestial and stop the emergence. But not everyone is on board with the plan, with Achares being the primary dissident. When Kingo pledges to remain alongside Achares up until the end, he recalls his last encounter with Ajak 6 days prior. She informs Achares that although the blip brought the emergence closer to reality, the heroics of the Avengers inspired her to doubt Arishem for the first time. But as he remains a firm believer in Arishem, Akaris takes Ajak to a town in Alaska, where the deviants trapped in ice were resurfacing due to global warming associated with the emergence. He pushes her into the path of Crow, who absorbs her life force and gains her hyper-regenerative powers. Akaris takes Ajak's body back home before breaking down over what he had done. Cersei senses the commencement of the emergence, prompting Phastos to send Makari out and find Tiamat, who is at a volcanic island in the Indian Ocean. Druig deduces Ikari's role in Ajak's death, and Cersei learns he was made aware of their true mission by Ajak centuries ago. Akaris argues that it is their duty as Eternals to protect the celestial cycle of life so that the universe may continue to exist. When Kingo threatens to attack Akaris, Sprite decides to leave with him. As he does not want to face Arishem but wishes not to fight his friends, Kingo also departs along with Karun. Thena convinces Cersei to continue Ajak's mission as her successor and prevent the emergence from eliminating all of mankind. To facilitate the uni-mind, Phastos takes Cersei's communication sphere and disassembles it to construct bracelets for the other Eternals to wear. At the island, Cersei, Thena and Makari lend their energy to Druig and allow him to connect with Tiamat, but Akaris blasts him into a hole and destroys the domo. Determining that Cersei's matter transmutation powers are their last chance to stop the emergence, Makari, Thena and Phastos confront Akaris to give her cover. Crow attacks the Eternals and nearly kills Makari, but Phastos knocks him into a cave where Thena follows him into. Sprite projects an illusion of Ajak to distract Cersei before stabbing her with a dagger. As she is constantly mocked for her childlike stature, Sprite envies Cersei for being able to live a full life among humans, hoping that the emergence's aftermath would allow her to be reborn as a full-sized life form. Druig recovers and knocks Sprite out, but he is unable to utilize his powers against Tiamat again, forcing Cersei to face it alone as the Celestial begins to rise from Earth's crust. Crow impersonates Gilgamesh and attempts to take over Thena's mind, but she is able to resist him and kills the deviant. Phastos manages to restrain Akaris and prevent him from using his powers momentarily, but he eventually breaks free and flies away to stop Cersei. However, he is emotionally unable to bring himself to harm her. Remembering their time on Earth and the love they shared, he surrenders. Despite this, Cersei still doesn't have enough energy to kill Tiamat. However, suddenly something unites all the Eternals, including Akaris and Sprite, into the uni-mind, attaining enough energy to allow Cersei to transform Tiamat's body into marble. Guilt-ridden, Akaris apologizes to Cersei before fleeing Earth, flying directly into the sun. Phastos deduces that it was Tiamat itself that initiated the uni-mind. This was always the way for Eternals to survive destructions of planets, but this time it resulted in the Celestial's death. Having retained some energy from the uni-mind, Cersei fulfills Sprite's wishes and transmutes her into a human to allow her to grow up. 2 weeks later in South Dakota, Thena, Makari and Druig depart for space on the Domo, which had been repaired by Phastos, in search for more Eternals and tell them the truth. Back in London, Sprite bids goodbye to Cersei as she moves out with Kingo to attend school. Whitman professes his love for her and is about to reveal a secret regarding his family history, when suddenly Arishem appears outside Earth's orbit and lifts Cersei, Kingo and Phastos into space. Displeased with their treason, Arishem says he will spare humanity if the Eternals' memories show that the humans are worthy of living. He vows to return for judgment before taking the trio with him into a singularity. Thena, Makari and Druig meet the Eternal Eros, Thanos' brother and his assistant Pip the Troll, who offer their help. Whitman opens a case containing the legendary ebony blade when an unseen person questions whether he is ready for it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this.